Hey everybody, it's Angie and welcome to Hot and Flashy. In today's video, I want to do a whole new makeup try-on video with you guys. A lot of you guys have been asking me about a certain makeup product. They're all over TikTok doing these funny little videos where they put on their makeup like this from one palette and then blend it all out, and then they magically have a perfect, beautiful face of makeup. So many of you guys have asked me to try that brand, and it being an MLM, which is a multi-level marketing company, I am not going to give it a try because a few years ago when I reviewed an MLM product and it just became a whole big kerfluffle, and so I just made it a policy back then that I don't review MLM products on my channel. But there are similar products out there on the marketplace that have a full palette of face makeup, like this one from Makeup Forever. Actually, a viewer of mine suggested that I try this instead of that, and so that's what we're going to be trying today. So I have this all on, and this is pretty much all my makeup today. It's my foundation, it's my concealer, it's my bronzer and contour, it's my blush and my highlighter. So that is a lot to get out of one palette. This is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Palette, and it's $85, so far less expensive than the MLM brand, where 12 pans of their makeup would cost you, I think, between $200 and $300, maybe over $300. So much more affordable. And I know 85 even sounds like a lot, but if you wanted to have one palette for pretty much everything except your eyeshadow and your lipstick and your, mascara, then this could be something that you might be interested in. So thought I would give it a try today. Thought I would do the spotting it around your face and then blending it type of application to see how that goes on, keeping in the theme of drawing on your makeup in different colored swatches and then blending it out. I'm going to try for you today the e.l.f. No Budge eyeshadow sticks. I've used these before and I love them. And then I have a couple of other new products, some new eyeliners, a new mascara, and a new lippy combo. So we're going to put that all to the test today. We're going to do an 8-hour wear test on it. So let's go back in time to when my face was makeup free, and we will go ahead and play with this whole face palette and all this new makeup. So this palette comes in 3 different colorways. This is Harmony 1, so this is the lightest one, and then there are 2 darker. So obviously you're probably not going to get an exact shade match in the foundation shades, but looking at the map that they have on the website, their foundation shades are this one up here, which is kind of greenish, so for olive people you could mix some of that in, and then this one here, this one, and this one up here. It's an interesting layout that they have the foundations kind of scattered through the palette. I mean, I feel like if I were laying this out, or if I could pop the pans out, I would just put like the concealers and the color correctors together, and then I would put like the foundations together, right? Wouldn't that make more sense? Just have them together. But anyway, let's take a look. First, I want to find a match for myself if I can, and I'm thinking maybe this one down here might be okay. So I'm going to be using the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush just to see if we can get a good color match for my skin just by using one of the foundations. Okay, that one looks like it actually might be a little bit too light. Let me try this next one. Looks a little bit warmer. Like, I don't want to get into having to mix these too much, so I think that one might be okay. I'm not wearing any primer. I wasn't going to use any primer with it. I do have my sunscreen on. I'm wearing the Undefined R&R sunscreen today. All right, so first I'm going to use my A506 brush, and I'm going to go into this concealer shade here. I'm going to pick up some of that. I'm just going to pop that on below my eye, and I'm also going to use that to lighten and brighten anywhere that I would normally put a lighter shade of concealer. Now I'm going to go in with my BK206. I'm going to use a much smaller brush for the bronzer, and for the bronzer I'm just going to use the darker shade of the foundation. And just going to put this, oh, that is not dark enough. I wonder if that would be a better foundation color for me. my gosh, that looks like a really good match. All right, I might end up using this one for the foundation, so let me go in with this one for the bronzer. I'll just use a different A506. And then I'm going to go back to the Real Techniques brush and I'm going to use this shade for the foundation. So I guess I'm just going to put that on everywhere else. All right, and now I'm going to go in with my BK 106 brush to blend that all out. I'm going to start blending the lighter colors first so I don't make it all muddy. Start blending this all in. I'm going to do the blush next and then blend in the bronzer. All right, what do we think? Versus no makeup. From a distance it looks nice. It looks very dewy. For something that was so easy to blend out, it actually didn't come out too stripy and it looks pretty good. Let me show you what this looks like up close. It's definitely like kind of a sheer to medium coverage right now, but overall I don't think it looks bad. I probably wouldn't, do that, applying it all at once and then mixing it in normally. I would probably go in more with the foundation and put that on first. So let's just try to do it this way, just to even out the skin tone all over. I mean, it is very lightweight feeling and very creamy and hydrating feeling. I feel like for me, I like how this looks a little better. I get the idea that you're not going to be layering things on top of each other on this side, but I also feel like, I don't know, I guess I just like the more solid coverage on everything that I'm getting on this side. All right, I feel like the concealer is just a little bit too light and a little bit too pink over here, so I think I'm just going to mix this guy here with this guy here and just tap that on. Still very light, but not quite as jarringly white as under this eye. And I'm just going to brighten up this area here. I mean, it sure does blend nicely into itself. Let's go ahead in with the bronzer again. And then the blush. This is, of course, a lot shinier than I would normally like my makeup to look, so definitely going to powder it down. I think I'm going to use my more heavy-duty mattifying powder, the Honest Beauty Invisible Blurring Loose Powder. Pick it up with my e.l.f. blush brush. I'm just going to set the under-eye concealer. All right, with some setting powder, I don't mind how it looks. I think this actually looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and do the eyeshadow. I'm not going to put on a lid primer because people were asking me if you could use these without primer. I guess it's an extra step that people don't necessarily want to do. So these come in both matte and shimmer. So I have this matte one. I actually have two shades of the matte. I picked up a new one, which is a pink one. There's a more neutral one that I was hoping to get, but they didn't have it at my Ulta. This one I feel is like sometimes a little too browny, but I feel like this one's a little bit too pinky, but I thought maybe I could stripe them together and then we could kind of blend them out. So this one I would use to define my crease. So I'm going to go ahead and just color that right in there. It's a nice color, but it's a little like greeny gray for me. I wish it was just a little bit more neutral, but this pink is really pretty. So I thought that we would try to kind of get it to look a little better with the pinky color. We could combine them a little bit. To blend those two, I'm going to use my A501 brush. Hey, that actually looks pretty nice too. And here is the shimmer. This is a slightly darker grayish purple. This one's called Magnetic Pull. I'm going to put this one at the outer corner. I'm also going to use it for my lower lid liner. And this one is the rose gold shade, so I'm going to put that on the inner lid from the inner corner. And I'll use the same brush to blend that across. And for the eyeliner, I wanted to try this Ulta liner. This is their gel eyeliner in Eggplant. Let's try the mascara. It's the Telescopic Lift from L'Oreal. This is supposed to have some kind of a kooky brush. It's very flat on one side. It's like flat. It's a little weird to use this like not round brush. It's kind of like trying to put on your mascara with a bug. Here's what the eyes look like. And the makeup. And then the last thing is the new little lippies from Tarte. This is in soft pink and it is the Juicy Lip Liner. Well, that is a really nice feeling lip liner. It just glides right on, feels lovely. And then I got the Maracuja Juicy Lip Cream. I had the original Juicy Lip, which is a little bit too like wet and greasy for me. This one is not as greasy as the original Juicy Lip. And this is in the shade Soft Rose. That feels really nice on the lips too, and I like this color. So there's our makeup look. So we'll check back on it in 4 hours. Let me show it to you up close and personal. Here's how it looks up close. Lippy. That looks nice. Nose doesn't look bad. Under eye concealer is okay. Doesn't look as good as my usual under eye concealer. And up here, I think it just is sitting a little bit patchy on my skin. And over here is definitely settling in my wrinkles already. But we will hope for the best and see how it wears throughout the day. It's not super sunshiny today. It's really cloudy. It looks like it's going to rain, so we will not be getting a sunshine test, but I will show it to you in natural light. All right, just thought I'd show you how the Makeup Forever makeup looks in natural light, just standing in front of a window. Hey guys, I am back. It is time for the 4-hour check-in on the makeup. I actually think this looks really good for 4 hours. The wear is still looking good. I mean, it's not like super worn off anywhere. You know, I'm still not loving it right here on my forehead or where it's kind of settled in my wrinkles. But I don't think it looks terrible on my skin. It is, you know, kind of staying in place and giving me that youthful glow, and it definitely feels kind of hydrating on the skin, and it is like dried and set. It doesn't feel like goopy on the skin, doesn't feel like it's coming off all over the place. So I don't think it's bad. I mean, it's looking a little, oops, it's looking a little shinier like right down here, but I don't think it's terrible. It is settled in my wrinkle here a little bit, right there. And as I showed you, it is settled in these wrinkles up here on my forehead. So, you know, I don't love things that settle in my wrinkles, but I don't feel like it's getting in there and cracking and looking terrible, like making them look bigger. And let's just look at the mascara and the eyeliners. I think they all look good. So, yeah. And here's how the lippy looks. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of a stain of color on there, even though it's mainly worn off. But they don't, my lips don't feel dry. So I'm just going to do the lippy without the lip liner. All right, hey you guys, I am back. It is time for the 8-hour check-in on the makeup. So what do we think of this stuff now that I have had it on all day? From here, I think it looks like it's mainly still in place. It looks definitely a little worn off here on my nose. Other than that, it doesn't really look too worn off. So, you know, I'm getting like 8 hours of pretty good wear out of it. The foundation part, I think, is wearing fine. The blush part, the bronzer part, The highlighter part is wearing fine. The under eye concealer, really not wearing well at all. My under eye concealer is usually not this worn off by 8 hours. It's fairly worn off under my eyes where the concealer should be. It's pretty worn off on my nose, kind of gathering up by the sides here. And it is looking a little shiny, like right down through here. From the beginning, this part just looked really funky and mottled, and it settled into my wrinkles. What's grown on me throughout the day is the mascara. I actually don't mind the mascara. I think I am getting a little bit of transfer down here from the mascara just because this makeup is so emollient. I feel like this eyeliner that I used today, the Ulta gel liner, I feel like that's still in place really well. It was really easy to work with. My eyes don't feel irritated by it, so I think that was a good product. I really enjoyed the lippy. I like the lip liner and lipstick. This is still on from when I reapplied it. I haven't touched it up again, so the color really stays and it doesn't run up in lip lines and it is not drying. I think the blush, the bronzer, the highlighter in here, even the foundation in here are all good. If I was to use this again, I would probably use a regular under eye concealer with it instead of this. I didn't mind how it felt. I didn't really mind how it looked most of the day. When I would see myself in a mirror, I'd be like, oh, that stuff still looks pretty good. The mascara actually grew on me. You know, it definitely gave me volume and length, and my lashes look nice, and it has stayed on all day. So that is a good mascara in my book. It checks the boxes. Have really been enjoying the e.l.f. eyeshadow pencils since I got them back in the fall. I'm glad to see that, you know, you don't have to have eye primer with them. They're very comfortable to wear. I remember my eyelids were like kind of burning this morning. And with these, they don't feel irritated at all. So those are good. So, all right, not an epic fail today. Tested some pretty good products. So that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, found it helpful and informative, go ahead and give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. As always, I thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate your watching. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.